welcome to my channel So Little Time, and my name is Karen. So I hope you're all doing really well, and thank you very much for joining me today. Today I'm here to share with you my completed memory bears. I have a small fabric haul to share with you, and I also would like to chat to you about my plans for Me Made May. Now, as most of you will know, I have been going on quite the journey making these memory bears for my mum and dad, and they're in memory of my brother who passed away 19 years ago this year. And actually back then I didn't sew, so this type of thing wasn't on my radar at all. And I am actually quite surprised that we ended up having some of his clothes left over for me to make these bears with. So I was over the moon with that, to be honest, but obviously very nervous to cut into them. So that was why I went down the process of making a couple of practice versions first, just so I could get a feel for the pattern and also just to feel more confident with cutting into clothes, basically. And I'm glad I did that process, actually. So I initially picked up a pattern from a charity shop to try out, and that was already cut out inside. So I ended up making that, and as you know, it was quite a big bear, and so it took a lot of fabric and also a lot of stuffing. So I knew that wasn't going to be ideal for using clothes with. And I had come across another pattern that I wanted to try, which was the Simplicity A2115 pattern, which is available on Etsy. And so I purchased that, and this is what it looks like. Excuse the grease mark that's on it, but as you can see, it's a nice sort of shaped bear, and it comes with this little jacket and a little pair of trousers that you can make as well. So like I say, this is the original Simplicity pattern that they've taken this from on Etsy, and it actually comes with photographic images alongside the written instructions, but it also has how the original pattern would have been laid out at the back. So you've got the written instructions and illustrations alongside that. So you've got two variations of the instructions to use. So if you're a visual learner, you will probably prefer to use the one with photographic pictures, but I've been kind of flicking between the two. So yeah, it's a really, really nice pattern, and I've thoroughly enjoyed sewing it up, actually. So the first practice version I made, you will have seen this on my previous video, and that's this bear here, and I am going to be giving this one away via doing a raffle. And yeah, thank you to Romy. She actually came up with the suggestion of doing a fundraiser. So I'm actually going to be setting up a Just Giving page, and so if you are interested in donating towards a charity, I haven't decided which charity yet, but you can sort of purchase a raffle ticket that kind of way, and then I should draw out the winning person to send this off to you. So yeah, this is the pattern that I've used then, and I was really pleased with the size of it and also the face shape and things like that, really. I just thought it was really nice, and I think this size is perfect for using clothing from. So once I'd done this one, I knew I'd sort of got my pattern that I wanted to use. So I did speak with my mum to see if we did have any clothes left of Craig's, and fortunately, we did have a couple of t-shirts left and a high-vis jacket that he actually wore when he went to some raves and things like that, which I was quite surprised about, actually, because I have expected her to say no, that we didn't have anything left, because obviously it's been a number of years now, and we did get rid of a lot of his clothes to charity. So yeah, I was over the moon that we had these two t-shirts available and the vest. So I decided I wanted to use those and to try and incorporate as much of the t-shirts into the bear as possible. And I was hoping that I'd have enough with the two t-shirts to make a bear each for my mum and dad. And I have managed to do that, so I'm over the moon. You will have seen, if you follow me on Instagram, that I have already shared these on there, and I instructed my mum and dad not to go onto Instagram or Facebook so that they would see them, because I want to give them to them now that they're completed as a bit of a surprise, really. Now they know that I have been making them, so it's not going to be that much of a surprise, and they have seen a snippet here and there of me in the process of making them, but they haven't seen them completely finished. And I have to say, now they are completely finished, I'm just thrilled to bits, and I cannot wait to give them to them. I felt okay, actually, about cutting into my brother's t-shirts, although it was nerve-wracking cutting into it, because I was like, well, there's no going back after you make that first snip, is there? But at the end of the day, it's just clothes, and it's not going to really make any difference, because they were just sort of stuffed in a drawer, collecting dust. I mean, I'm surprised we still had them. So yeah, I don't know. But I am glad that it all worked out, and they look as good as they do. So without further ado then, I shall share with you the bears. Oh, I forgot to say, actually, that this one is named Lucy. So I did a little draw that my sons like picked a name out of a hat from the people who had offered some names on Instagram, and also families had entered some names into like just a little draw, and my sons picked them out, and the winner was Lucy. So this is Lucy the bear, and there will be a fundraising page very soon for you to donate to if you would like. So I'll insert a photo of what the t-shirts looked like before I made them into the bear. So you will see that there is a grey and orange one which had some logos on it, and then there was a blue one with a sort of fluorescent style stripe down the side, and also some fluorescent spots on the chest area. And I wanted to incorporate as much of that sort of bits and bobs of the t-shirts into the bears themselves. I'm really pleased that I have managed to do that, and the scraps that I had left I've just put into my closet called Poof, and basically the scraps that were left were all the bits where the seams were attached, so like near the arms and the shoulders and stuff like that, so I couldn't really use those anyway. I did think about stuffing them inside the actual bears themselves, but I think it would have been a little bit lumpy, so I've just kept with the stuffing that I used initially, and you know, that's worked out really well. So I'll share the first bear with you. So I've managed to incorporate both the t-shirts in both of the bears, so I've kind of mixed and matched. And a lady did say on one of my previous videos that the blue and orange are opposite each other on the colour wheel, so you know they did complement each other, because initially I did think, oh, they're going to complement each other. So yeah, I've managed to do that. So this is the first bear. And as you can see, I have managed to save one of the original labels off the back of the neck into the bear's foot. And then I've got the blue and the orange from both t-shirts. And then I've managed to use this fluorescent sort of green stripe, which was running down the side of the t-shirt into the centre of the belly. And I've done it like a chevron effect. And I'm really pleased with that. Now, that was fairly difficult, and it isn't 100% lined up. I don't mind that. The reason it was quite difficult is because the jersey fabric itself, where this stripe was running down the side of the t-shirt, it wasn't even all the way. So obviously it's stretched out in areas and things like that. So I just did the best I could, but I'm really pleased with how that is kind of looking. Yeah, and then I also had a bit of an issue with this one's nose, and I had to unpick it, but because the safety nose was still in there, I ended up having to hand sew the nose in place, and I have managed to do that really securely, so I'm really pleased with that, and it has just given him a slightly different look to the other bear, but I'm quite happy with that. It's a quirk, and it's quite nice that the face is slightly different. So yeah, I've got the blue and this green fabric from the blue t-shirt, and then the orange is from the orange and grey t-shirt, and then on the back it is just mainly blue, but it's got the backs of the ears as orange as well. And I've just used safety eyes and nose in that, so they won't come out, but these aren't meant as toys anyway, they are just for display really. But yeah, that's the first one, so I'm really pleased with that one. And then the next one I think is actually my favourite, and how this one has turned out, and this is the grey and orange one, and as you can see he is wearing the jacket, and I've managed to make this jacket using the high-vis jacket material, and then I've incorporated these little fluorescent spots onto the jacket itself, and I just fabric glued those on after I'd made the jacket up, because I just thought that they would come off whilst I was turning it inside out as well. Now this jacket pattern actually comes with the pattern, but the way they tell you to sew it up was that you would have visible seam lines on the inside down the side seams, and I didn't want that because I'm quite particular about it, so I actually ended up kind of sewing it together. So I pulled it through the shoulder seams, and then I sewed the lining and the outer fabrics together at the side seams, and then I just had a little turning point just here, and I just had to hand sew that into place. So I've put the spots on the back like that, and a chevron effect as well to sort of replicate the belly of the other bear. And also I thought it was a bit more kind of rave style, as it were. It's actually even got the original dirty mark on there, which I think is quite nice to have a feature of the fact that it was worn by my brother as well. Again, on this one, I've got an original label, which I popped on. And yeah, he's come together really, really nicely. So again, I used the majority of the orange on this bear, and I also used, you know, the grey bits, and used blue on the back of the ears there. And if I take the jacket off, I'll show you the back of this bear, where I've managed to incorporate some of the logo detail that was on the grey and orange t-shirt, so I'm pleased with that as well. So it kind of goes at the bottom of his bum area and then at the sides of the body. And I've just hand sewn down the middle where the entry was to enable me to stuff him, but you'll see there's 2 extra seam lines. There's one up here and one down there, and that is actually because these sections were again on the side of the t-shirt, so I did have to include that seam line, unfortunately. But I'm really pleased with how that is looking, and I really like how this one has turned out. Now his nose went in a lot better and looks really, really neat. So I learned a lot about doing the nose, but I do feel confident moving forwards that actually I will get that right spot on next time. I know what I did wrong on the other one, but it does mean that their faces are slightly different. If you can see, just very slightly. This one's got a bit more of a shorter nose because I've had to hand sew it around there, but I'm fine with that, and I'm just so pleased with how these bears have turned out, and I cannot wait to hand them over to my mum and dad, and you know, hope that they will love them as much as I do. I mean, I'm sure they will. It'd be nice that they can now be on display rather than those t-shirts be sat in a drawer, you know, just gathering dust. So those are my 2 bears. So like I say, I am going to be hopefully doing this locally for people. So I just kind of need to price them up appropriately. And the good thing about these is that they actually, if I turn you around, they stand up, sit up on their own, which is quite nice. Whereas my other one, he kind of just leaned because it was so big, and I have still got that one upstairs. So yeah, just really, really over the moon with those, and I can't wait to hand them over. So next I'll share with you then my fabric haul. Now, myself and my neighbour Penny, who lives a couple of doors down from me, she comes to my sewing social group. We decided to venture out to a local fabric shop that we'd not been to before, and this is located in East Goscote, which is in Leicestershire, so it's not too far from where I live. And I had actually come across them on Facebook. I think it was on one of the spotted Facebook pages where they advertise businesses and things like that. So I'd come across it on there and had been following them on Facebook for a little while, but just hadn't had chance to get to the premises itself. So myself and Penny went out this morning and we decided to just go and have a look at what they got on offer there. So we drove to East Goscote, didn't look at the address, just assumed it was going to be on the industrial estate there, but it wasn't. So we had to get the Google map out and find out where we were going. And it's not very obvious actually to where it is located. So it's actually at the back of the owner's house. Now the owner is a lady called Natalie, and we did have a lovely chat with her today, and it was really nice to peruse all her fabric and haberdashery. But yeah, like I say, it's not obvious as to where it's actually located. So it's just off the Melton Road, going out towards Rearsby, and it's at the back of her house. So you kind of have to pull in off the Melton Road into her driveway, and there's a very small sort of parking area, and then the fabric shop is actually located at the back of her house, and it is like a very small kind of garage warehouse style, and then she's got her sewing studio attached to that, and she does some one-to-one classes, I believe, as well. So yeah, we just sort of ventured on in, said hello, had a quick chat with her, and then we had a peruse of all the fabrics. Now she kindly let me film whilst I was in there, so I will be inserting that footage at the end of me chatting about this shop. But yeah, she had a variety of different fabrics there available, so that was really nice. And she prices them per metre, but she does have some ribbing which is available per half metre, so all the fabrics are priced per metre, and that is just how she sells them. So I went in there specifically because I wanted to pick up some fabrics for the mini makes book by Tilly and the Buttons, because I wanted to make the sort of Billy sweatshirt for my boys. And I had asked them this morning what style of sweatshirt they wanted, bearing in mind they are on the older side now. But actually Thomas wants his to be kind of like this one here, and Harry actually wants one with a rabbit on the front. Now I am going to have another chat with him because he is 10, and I do think he might be slightly a bit too old for that, especially wearing out of the house. I don't want him to get people taking the mickey out of him, really, you know, because he is at that age. So maybe I might be able to persuade him to have, you know, this style with maybe a kangaroo pocket or just plain. And James just wants his plain, but Thomas wants his with the face on, like the panda. So I bought some sweatshirting fabric because that's one type of fabric I don't seem to have in my stash. So I'll share with you the ones that I got then. So she had a number of different gorgeous jersey fabrics, but she only had I think these 3 sweatshirting fabrics, and I've bought 1 in each colour. So I've bought 1 metre of each colour because I think that should be enough. I did check how much I needed. So the first one is this beautiful kind of peacock blue teal colour, absolutely gorgeous. And on the reverse, it's got that lovely soft furry backing, so that'd be nice. Now I know we are going into technically our summer months, but we do live in the UK, and so as you can imagine, it's not all that warm, and these will be great if we do, you know, when we do go on holiday in the UK, they'd be great for wearing on the beach. You know, when we have the cooler days and that kind of thing, and the sea breeze. So that's the first one. So I got a metre of that one. It's really nice and soft and squidgy. And these were priced at £15.50 per metre. So they are quite expensive, but I think all sweatshirting is approximately about that. The next one I got is in this lovely sort of sky blue colour. And I think that's a really lovely colour. You know, don't see that colour very often actually. Really like that. So that's going to be another sweatshirt. And then the other colourway I got was in this lovely grey colourway. And I really like that actually. Now I decided that I would buy ribbing for all 3 in the same colour. So what I've done is the ribbing that they sell is per half metre, and that's at £5 per half metre. And I did buy a metre of it, and it is tubular, I believe. Yeah, so I've bought this colourway, which is, it's more teal than it is coming up on screen. But I thought that that would complement each of the colourways. So, you know, that would go together for the neckband and the cuffs and the hemband. So I thought that would go, you know, quite well with that. Also, it will complement that as well. And I thought it would go quite nicely with the grey as well. Yeah, I really like that sort of colour together. And also, what I ended up buying was a metre of some just standard jersey fabric. Well, I think it's a little bit French terry-like, if I'm honest. And this was in sort of a lighter blue colourway. And that is basically for the animal on the front of the jumper. So when you do the animal style jumper. So I thought that that would go quite well. In the picture, it's white that they use, but white and my boys, it's just not going to happen. So I felt that this would be a nice contrast on all of those fabrics, you know, you could have on the front. Now, I mean, I don't know who's going to be which colourway yet for my boys, but yeah, I thought that would work quite well as the front. So that one as well, like that. And then, so if I end up doing the animal on the front, I can use that, or if I just ended up doing a kangaroo pocket, then that will be sufficient as well. So I bought a metre of that, and it is quite wide fabric as well. So although it did tell me for like Harry's age size to go over a metre, I think it was, because it's wider than what the book actually states, I'm pretty sure I will have enough. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to making those, and I said I'd tag her once I'd finished the completed makes to share with her, so maybe she might upload them onto her Facebook page. Yes, I'm hoping to get on with that sort of during this month really. Yeah, we'll see how we go with that. I just wanted to have a brief chat with you about my plans for Me Made May. Now, I didn't take part last year, but I did take part the 2 previous years consecutively, and I did the sort of process of wearing a Me Made garment every single day and sharing it on my Instagram on a daily basis of what I was wearing, and I was trying not to do like repeats and just to see what things I was reaching for, what gaps there were in my wardrobe and that kind of thing. But I just felt that I didn't really need to do that last year as I'd done it 2 years previous, and I also feel like I don't need to do that again this year because I kind of know what I'm reaching for and what I'm not, and I know what gaps there are in my wardrobe already, so I didn't feel the need to share with you what I was wearing on a daily basis really. However, what I have decided to do is to actually get out my summer clothes, because I do tend to put them away during the winter, and I put them in a suitcase and then I get them out and rotate my wardrobe around depending on the season. But we have been having the longest winter ever in the UK, and it's only just started to turn slightly warmer here. I mean, we had a beautiful weekend this weekend, but still I don't feel it was hot enough for me to get my summer stuff on. I still had like my trusty cardigan over the top of things and a jacket, you know, because you never know when a shower is going to happen. But what I've decided to do is to actually go through my wardrobe and to actually get rid of things that I'm not wearing, either because it doesn't fit me anymore or because I don't like the style of it. Or it could even be ready to wear garments that I still have in my wardrobe that I've just been hanging on to for some reason. I mean, I still have my work stuff in there. I mean, goodness me, it's definitely not going to fit me. I think there was like some hopeful thing that I was going to fit back into it, or you know, when I return to work, but that's not going to be the case. And also my style has changed, and I'm pretty sure the work style wear that people wear has changed as well. So, you know, so I have already started getting rid of a few things. Now, there has been a few things that I've already got rid of, and I was hoping to be able to share, obviously, my findings at the end of this month to share with you what I have got rid of and why. But some of them I've already got rid of. However, I do remember what I've got rid of, so I will be using photos to share that with you at the end of May. So I haven't started going through my summer clothes yet. I've literally just got the suitcase out, ready to start sort of pulling it all out and seeing what I am going to be wearing during the summer. And I'll be doing the same thing with my autumn and winter clothes as well, as I swap my wardrobe around. So anything that I haven't sort of reached for in the last 6 to 8 months, I'll be sorting out and getting rid of, either by selling it on Vinted perhaps, or giving it to charity. I know some people have said that their local charity shops don't accept handmade garments. Mine does, so that's quite fortunate for me. But also I feel like sometimes it's nice to obviously sell it on to make a bit of money back from what you've spent making it. But yeah, I mean, it would depend on how well that garment is made as to whether I feel it's worthy of being sold. A lot of my earlier items, which I have recently got rid of, they weren't even finished with an overlocker because I didn't have one at that time. So I didn't feel that they were worthy of being sold. So they went to a charity shop. You know, they're absolutely fine. It's just that I'm quite particular about how they're finished now on the inside. And if I was to sell them, I would definitely want those seams on the inside finished. So yeah, so I'll share with you then at the end of this month how I get on with that, and you know, how many things I actually do end up like getting rid of. So I'm basically going to be making some more space for new things to be made that I really do want to make and wear. Sometimes I feel like maybe I've jumped on the bandwagon of a pattern and perhaps it isn't really my style, or, you know, realistically it's not an everyday wear kind of garment. I am the sort of person, if I make something and I wear it, it will get washed and worn all the time. And I don't really want to make things that are just, you know, one-offs really. So like, for instance, the Sewcial set that I made a couple of years ago, as much as I absolutely love that pattern, realistically it's not something that I'm going to wear day to day in the summer around where I live, because I'm a bit about showing off my midriff. I'm not in my 20s anymore and I've had twins. That's all I have to say about that. You know, but I would potentially wear it on holiday where I felt a little bit more at ease of showing a bit more skin. But yeah, you know, so I am going to be evaluating those. I've got two sets, so I may just end up keeping one set and then getting rid of the other. I am a bit more of a summer dress style person, really. Yeah, so there's just a few other things that I am going to be looking at as to see what I am going to be getting rid of. So yeah, I'll keep you posted with that. But I just thought that I'd share with you how I'm kind of looking at it this year, rather than just doing a photographic documentation of what I'm wearing on a day-to-day basis. I kind of know moving forwards what I would like to make to incorporate into my wardrobe, especially moving forwards, as I am now looking for a part-time position. I am going to have to start thinking about making things that are a little bit more smarter, not just casual everyday to day wear, but things that I can wear to work, you know, potentially in and out of work. And I know that some people don't like to mix and match their social and workwear wardrobe, but I don't mind doing that. So, you know, that is something that I probably will end up doing. So yeah, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my video today. Please do give it that all important like and subscribe if you've not already done so. That would be marvellous. Thank you very much to everybody who has already subscribed, liked and watched my videos and also commented. I truly appreciate it. And I do love engaging with you all. So please do let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And I look forward to catching up with you all again soon. Take care. Bye.